Welcome to Happily Whatever After. We are your host couple Karan
And Shokhi.
and we want to thank you for starting this journey with us. Thank you for listening to our story. Thank you for being with us and giving your time and energy. I think I am really thankful to our listeners for this. In today's episode, we are going to take you back to where we started. It's going to be interesting how we met and how only one of us fell in love and how it took us 3 years to come together with so many life complications. But what happens when you find out? What happens when you find out this is not the person you wanted to fall in love with? So let me ask Shokhi. Shokhi wants to, she likes to say story which are beautiful, and our journey is also beautiful. I would like to ask Shokhi to say a story about us.
तो बहुत पतली गली से निकल रही है ना इस बार भी. So I ask people every time what's your story, and I was about to ask Karan that why don't you tell our story, but he took the bait and he didn't take the bait and like उसने बिल्कुल पतली गली solution निकाल के मेरे ऊपर डाल दिया है. So I'll tell you the story. I love telling this story. It's my favorite story to tell, and everybody thinks that it's a great story.
Yeah. It's a great story.
So imagine this. I have just arrived in Mumbai from Indore 10 days into June, and I have set up a house and everything. My parents are with me, and सब लोग सारा सामान वामान लेके आ चुके हैं और हम लोगों ने एकदम घर सेटअप कर लिया है. कल से मुझे ऑफिस जाना है. मैं सब कुछ अपना रेडी होके तैयार होके प्रेस वेस करके कपड़े एकदम अच्छे बच्चों की तरह रेडी हूँ. दूसरे दिन सुबह मम्मी पापा मुझे ऑफिस तक छोड़ने आए हैं, एंड एवरीबडी इज़ इन ऑफ दिस ह्यूज ऑफिस ऑफ स्टार प्लस, एंड इट्स माई फर्स्ट डे एट जॉब, एंड आई एम 20 minutes early. So firstly the HR scolds me कि 20 मिनट पहले कौन आता है, and I'm like okay sorry. And secondly now I have to wait. I'm a punctual person, okay, that is all.
That's true.
So I'm just super excited, and I'm sitting over there and I'm waiting. Now I have to wait for like more than 20-30 minutes, right? So I'm waiting, I'm looking at the office. It's a huge building, first time I ever saw. And I saw that there are two beautiful capsule lifts, those glass lifts that you can see through. So I'm just looking at, I'm people watching. That's also another of my favorite things to do. I'm just watching everybody, and suddenly बाहर बारिश होने लगती है. एकदम बादल वादल आ जाते हैं, बिजली कड़क रही है, बारिश हो रही है. ऑब्वियसली जुलाई का टाइम है, एंड मुंबई मानसून्स, इट्स लाइक अमेजिंग. सो बारिश फुल एकदम, और सडनली it's really like I'm Shah Rukh Khan from मैं हूं ना, and I look towards the door. The doors are revolving doors, and in walks this guy in a yellow t-shirt with like a smug smile on his face, and a helmet, and he has this like walk, like I'm so cool baby walk. And he's walking from one end of the room to the other, and I'm like this टॉम एंड जेरी में जेरी होता है ना, जिसको चीज़ की सुगंध आ जाती है, तो वो ऐसे लेके ऐसे देख के इधर से उधर देख रहा होता है. सो आई एम रियली लुकिंग एट दिस गाय, एंड वो एक डोर से आता है, एंट्री मारता है और दूसरे डोर के अंदर चला जाता है. वो डोर में मुझे एक्सेस नहीं अभी तक ना, मतलब मैं एम्प्लॉय नहीं बनी हूँ अभी तक. एंड ही गोज इनसाइड, एंड आई एम लाइक वाओ व्हाट इज दिस, आई वांट दिस. आई वाज रियली लाइक टेलिंग द यूनिवर्स एंड गॉड कि ये चाहिए, ये तो सेट है. अभी मेरे को इस ऑफिस में मेरे को इस बंदे के लिए रहना.
बेसिकली इसने सारी कायनात को बोला था कि ये मुझे चाहिए और मैं मिल गया इसको.
See, manifestation. He is my life's biggest manifestation.
And that's true. Trust me on this. It's true.
So then I'm just super excited. I'm waiting कि अब मुझे कब अंदर जाने को मिलेगा और कब मुझे ओरिएंटेशन मिलेगा, तो मुझे पता चलेगा कि ये कौन है बंदा. अब वो अलग बात है कि आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि पूरे ऑफिस में कम से कम 250-300 लोग होंगे, मैं उसे ढूंढूंगी कैसे. बट लाइक अपन तो बॉलीवुड मूवीज देख के बड़े हुए हैं, सो मतलब हमारी ट्रेनिंग ही ऐसी हुई है कि हमको पता तो करना ही होता है कि जिससे भी हमें प्यार हुआ है तो उसका सब कुछ काला चिट्टा हम ढूंढ के निकाल लेंगे. सो लाइक 1 week into the job, I figured out everything. We went to meet him. I was hired as a creative intern. So we were all taken to different departments, and I finally found him And look at the irony, okay? I found him also. So it was like I saw him through an aquarium because he was inside the studio. I could not reach out to him. I could not see him in flesh. It's like universe was playing this cruel joke on me कि वो तुम्हारी पहुंच के बहुत बाहर है, तुम उसे टच भी नहीं कर सकते. He was like that and I'm just like I am good with like just looking at him. I have no problem. I am drooling and look. I am Jerry and he's the cheese. Okay, that is all I wanted. But then also I found out something else from that day onwards. I declared to all the other creative interns कि भाई ये
तो बेसिकली व्हाट शी डिड इज कि ये मेरा है, इसके ऊपर कोई आंख नहीं डालेगा.
मूवीज में छपरी लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं ना ये तेरी भाभी है. So I declared him कि ये तेरी भाभी है. कोई और इस पे डोरे मत डालना. And everybody else was also so sweet and on board. They are like कि okay wow. अब हम शोखी की मजे लेंगे. And we will all try somehow to find out कि कौन है ये, क्या है ये. तो मेरे जासूस चारों तरफ फैल चुके थे. And but then उसके बाद से मेरी पूरी लाइफ वॉज शेड्यूल्ड अराउंड करंस शेड्यूल. यू नो, जब वो स्मोक ब्रेक पे होता था, बैक देन ही यूज्ड टू बी क्वाइट द कैसिनोवा इज व्हाट आई फाउंड आउट. वो स्मोक ब्रेक पे होता था, तो माई लंच ब्रेक यूज टू बी अराउंड दैट टाइम सो दैट आई कैन वॉक पास्ट हिम, प्रिटेंड दैट ओ मेरी बाल, मेरे ये, मैं वो, तैयार होके ऐसे निकलती थी. ये नहीं देखता, ये मुझे देखता भी नहीं था पलट के. सो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट सिनेरियो ऑल टुगेदर. बट इन माई माइंड आई वॉज दिस हीरोइन हु पासिस बाय, और फिर ये मुझे एक दिन देख लेगा, फिर इसको भी प्यार हो जाएगा, एंड देन हैप्पीली एवर आफ्टर, राइट? बट no, the name of the show is happily whatever after. So it did not happen that way, and I kept finding out small bits of information जो है ना धीरे धीरे ऐसे पीछे से कांच टूटने की आवाज़ आती थी, बर्तन गिरने की आवाज़ आती थी. Because I found out that he's quite popular among the ladies and he's quite the Casanova and he's in a serious relationship with somebody else. So I was like, अब तो चूड़ियाँ तोड़ने का टाइम आ चुका है. मतलब बिकॉज वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स गायत्री प्लेड आर क्यूपिड, सो शी कॉन्टैक्टेड वन ऑफ हिज फ्रेंड्स who gave her all the information that there is a girl who already exists and there has been a proposal and there has been rings exchanged and like proposal हो गया तो obviously शादी वादी की बात चल रही होगी. So I was just like कि ये तो कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा, मतलब दाल नहीं गलनी अगर इधर शादी वादी की बात है. एंड प्लस ऑलरेडी लड़का दाने डाल रहा है लड़कियों को. सो मतलब हम तो सच्चा सुंदर अच्छा प्यार करना चाहते हैं ना. लाइक मेरा प्यार तो अंदर से निकल के आ रहा है, लाइक बॉलीवुड रोमांटिक हीरो.
She is actually a Bollywood romance buff who always believes in romance.
So I was like कि नहीं करना है मेरे को ऐसे परेशान किसी और को. मैं किसी और का घर नहीं तोड़ना चाहती हूँ यार. मतलब हाँ मुझे प्यार है, पर मैं दूर से भी रह लूँगी ना देख के. मतलब हमने बॉलीवुड में इनफ वन साइडेड लव स्टोरीज भी देखी है. तो देन आई वाज लाइक कि ठीक है चलो दूर से ही देख के खुश हो जाएंगे. बट जो दूर से देखना भी था वो इतना ऑब्सेसिव था दैट आई यूज्ड टू टेक द अदर लिफ्ट. यू नो देयर यूज्ड टू बी 2 लिफ्ट्स एज आई टोल्ड यू. सो एक लिफ्ट से ना इसका डेस्क दिखता था ऑन द सेकेंड फ्लोर. सो आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू टेक दी अदर लिफ्ट. मतलब सामने एक दूसरी खाली होगी तो भी मैं उसमें नहीं जाऊंगी, मैं वेट करूंगी कि दूसरी लिफ्ट आए. और उस लिफ्ट पे मैं चढ़ के जाऊंगी और लिफ्ट में एक कोने में खड़े होकर एंगल से देखूंगी कि वाह आज दिख गया मुझे, करण दिख गया.
I can't just. Okay, guys, let me tell you this thing. I am just remembering this right now. Okay. It's actually very cheesy, but trust me, I think. You know, I chose that seat where I used to sit because I could see the sunlight, and Shokhi actually made me her sunlight. I mean, that's.
I am your sunlight.
That's amazing. I think she's truly my sun today. She makes my life bright. Yeah.
So after which, एक पॉइंट आया जब हम लोगों को पता चला we are all going for an off site. So I was like कि वाओ अब तो लाइक अल्टीमेट मजा आएगा. ऑफ साइड में तो मेरे को जब जिधर मानो मैं उधर लाइक यू नो वॉच हिम एट ऑल पॉइंट्स ऑफ टाइम. आई एम सॉरी, आई वाज रियली लाइक stalking him at all points of time.
She was, trust me. I think I would like to add one episode. मतलब मेरे को पता चल गया था कि भाई कोई पीछा कर रहा है. Literally there is one person who is following me everywhere.
Yeah, I was like very obvious.
Yeah, मतलब she was. So can you imagine that she's actually making it really really obvious that she's stalking me, and I am like, dude, okay, I will have to manage things across, and I'm not giving her bow at all. Trust, मतलब मैंने भाव दिया ही नहीं था.
I think he didn't even like notice me at all.
I knew it.
Till some point of time, but we'll come to your story when we come to your story.
Okay.
First,
Sorry,
let me
guys.
tell my story.
Yeah.
So we reach at this fancy smanchy place called Ambi Valley, where office offsite is supposed to happen, and the whole of company employees are all there, and वहाँ पे full DJ night हो रही है and everything, and there are various venues, right? कि एक जगह पे people are enjoying with the pool and wave pool and all, एक जगह पे people are doing horse riding, bungee jumping or whatever, and I am only interested in, again, where is Karan going? So even though I am like zero at this, okay, मतलब adventure नाम की
I
चीज
went
से
for
मैं
a bungee jumping, and I was standing in a queue, and I am taking a test from the doctor that. So when you go for a bungee jumping, they usually test, your blood pressure levels and everything is okay or not. And I'm standing in the queue with the doctor, and the third person from my back is Shokhi.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, dude? This is. And she's not going to do it. She's just on the line.
Yeah, best part is that I didn't even write up my name. Like, I'm not even on the list, but I'm standing in the line with my best friend Roshni. Hello Roshni, big shout out to you. With my best friend Roshni, and I'm just like, I've convinced her somehow that yes, you can do bungee jumping, let's go. So she's standing in the line, I'm standing behind her, and I'm just looking at Karan with like googly eyes as always, and Karan looks at, I don't know if he actually really like saw or wanted to give any bow or something. I assumed in my mind that he saw. It was raining. Let me paint a picture for you. We were on a helipad. It was raining. I was wearing my pink raincoat, and Karan was full bhiga hua ekdam. तो मतलब he was looking like Ravina Tandon from Tip Tip Barsa Pani for me.
Currently, guys,
I was just amazingly in love, I would say. So I was more than happy कि मैं अपनी दोस्त को वहाँ पे खड़ा करके और इसको देख रही हूँ. Then इतनी बारिश होने लगी कि बंजी जंपिंग ही बंद हो गया. So I was the most heartbroken. I was like कि यार अच्छा खासा, मतलब मैंने नज़र लगा दी अपनी रवीना टंडन को कि ये तो बारिश इतनी हो गई कि सब कुछ बंद हो गया, हमको इधर उधर जाना पड़ा. उसके बाद आफ्टर विच देयर वाज अ डीजे नाइट दैट सेम नाइट. सो मैं फुल तैयार हुई हूँ एकदम डिंचैक बन के, या पहली बार ऐसी ड्रेस वेस पहनी है, बाल वाल खुले एंड ऑल दैट, एंड आई एम नॉट अ ग्रेट dancer otherwise in a DJ night, but if you play Bollywood you will see the best of me. अभी तक कम से कम मैं छपरी डांस but thankfully वहाँ पे छपरी डांस नहीं हो रहा था. So what I used to do is, everybody was dancing, all the interns were dancing in one group. What I used to do is I used to walk away and sit down, and then my radar used to look for Karan, and I would see him dancing with different group of girls. So I was very hopeful. On one side I was very jealous, and on the other side I was very hopeful that ये मेरे ग्रुप पे भी आएगा ना, कभी तो आएगा. So I was,
जो मैं गया था, वर्षा खींच के लेके गई थी मेरे को. So one of our friends, Varsha, took me, and she's like, let's go, we'll dance together. I was like, ठीक है, go do dance.
Thank you Varsha, thank you for like मतलब थोड़ा भाव दिलवाने के लिए, thank you so much. So I was waiting. तो मैं बाकी टाइम डांस नहीं कर रही थी. जैसे ही I saw him coming to our group, I was like कि चलो डांस करते हैं. Wow, I also started dancing, and then I got like 30 seconds of dance with him, and I also remember the song that was playing. It was so apt. It was the song saying I hate love stories, from the movie I Hate Love Stories.
Yeah.
And Karan was full in touch, and he was dancing and all, and he was quite the celebrity actually at that DJ night, because he was the most good looking guy probably in that room, and everybody was trying to dance with him. And obviously I should also tell you that the male to female ratio in Star Plus was really 10:1. So Karan really had all the attention that he could get, but it ended there that night. It didn't go anywhere else, because in my mind I was thinking ki डांस होगा, फिर उसके बाद करण मेरे पास आएगा, फिर हम लोग कुछ बात करेंगे, फिर ठेंगा कुछ नहीं हुआ। करण अपने नेक्स्ट ग्रुप पे डांस करने चला गया एंड आई वाज जस्ट लाइक कि ओके फाइन, इट्स ओके। आई वाज जस्ट लुकिंग एट हिम एंड हैप्पी एज यूजुअल। एंड उसके बाद पहली बार ऐसा हुआ कि जब हम वापस आए एम्बी वैली से, तो इतनी दाल गली थी बस कि ऑफिस कम्युनिकेटर पे एक बार बात हो रही थी एंड I pinged him and he replied back and I was like, oh my god, somebody replied back. It was the first time ever. And on that side, probably Karan was replying to me alone. On this side, behind me, all the 6 interns were staring at the screen कि क्या बात हो रही है, कुछ तो बता। but बात कुछ नहीं हुई, बात इतनी हुई कि it was दशहरा and I had just returned back from my home. एंड यूजुअली मेरे साथ मम्मी या नानी कोई रहते थे एंड इस टाइम मैं अकेली थी एंड आई टोल्ड करण दैट ओह नथिंग एल्स, मेरे को तो अभी साफ सफाई करनी है, मैं इतने दिनों बाद वापस आई हूँ ना घर से। एंड आई वॉज जस्ट ट्राइंग टू टेल हिम दैट आई एम अलोन एट होम, बट ही टुक द वेट एंड ही वॉज लाइक कि ओह I'll come and help you clean up, and I was like, oh my god, I was really like losing it. But then finally that day I was just like, I took Roshni with me, I tried 5 different clothes and I was like, ये अच्छा लग रहा है, वो अच्छा लग रहा है and all of that, and then I had to look casual. It should not look like I've dressed up for him, like very nonchalant. I have to be like, I'm cool. I was trying to be very cool. And when he came, I was trying to, मैंने घर already साफ कर दिया था, okay, but I was pretending कि oh अभी भी मैं साफ सफाई कर रही हूँ, because that's the reason why he's offered
when I
to come
entered,
here,
she was
right?
just folding one of, I think, bed sheet. It was, you know, one single bed sheet.
One bed sheet.
And उसके बाद काम हो गया था.
And I had already cooked some chicken pulao type thing, chicken that my mom had cooked and given me.
I love that.
And I made a pulao. I used to call it biryani at that point of time. So we were sitting and the only thing I was interested to know in the whole conversation was, he asked me where am I from, what do I do. I found out his mom is also from Indore, what does she do and all that. But the only thing, the one question that I wanted to ask was that so how's like, are you in a relationship?
She wanted to just know that कि whether I am actually carrying on. She was like कि इसका टूट जाए और मैं हथौड़ा मारूं.
No Karan, what did I just say? मेरे को किसी का घर नहीं तोड़ना था, मुझे सिर्फ असली पता करना था कि क्या सच है और क्या झूठ है। और जवाब मुझे क्या मिलता है, मतलब एक तरफ मेरे जासूसों ने मुझे बताया है कि रिंग एक्सचेंज हो गई है और शादी होने वाली है, और जवाब मुझे क्या मिलता है कि वी आर ऑन अगेन ऑफ अगेन। तो आई एम लाइक कि ये अच्छा है, मतलब ऑन अगेन ऑफ अगेन है तो फिर
That was the second meeting, if I'm not
No,
wrong.
that was the very first meeting, I remember.
Okay.
So he was, अब तुम अपने वो बचाने की कोशिश मत करो, ठीक है?
I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out and you know.
So
कि मैं कब कैसे वो स्टोरी, मैं भी गलत नहीं बोल सकता ना.
I was told that on again off again. So I was like कि जो मेरी एकदम खत्म हुई होप थी उसको फिर कोई ने हवा दे दी, तो वापस चिंगारी भड़क गई. I was like कि ओह अच्छा ओके. Then फिर I served him some chicken pulao, we ate. We didn't have a lot to talk about, but then I was so crazy in love at that point of time that I didn't care कि कुछ बात करने के लिए नहीं है हमारे बीच में. But I didn't notice that. I was just like, I think I was happy that a unicorn is sitting right in my room. So I was
ज़्यादा तारीफ हो रही है, लोग
अच्छे नहीं लग रहे तो
ठीक है.
But I love you, no? You're still my unicorn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our first meeting. After which very quickly I found out, देखिए, one after the other, like there is a roller coaster ride already. Within the first 3 months of us meeting, very quickly I found out he's leaving the job.
Yeah,
And
I quit Star after 3 months of her arrival.
Yeah, and I was like कि ये क्या बात होती है, मतलब वैसे ही वो मेरे को इतना भाव नहीं देता है, प्लस ही इज लीविंग द जॉब. तो अभी तक तो कम से कम आई कैन लाइक परेड राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ हिम एंड आउट ऑफ साइट आउट ऑफ माइंड नहीं होने दूंगी मैं अपने आप को, मैं दिखा के कुछ करवा लूंगी. बट यहाँ तो मतलब वंस ही लीव्स द जॉब देन आई एम आउट ऑफ साइट आउट ऑफ माइंड ऑब्वियसली, फिर ही वोंट रिमेंबर. बट देन हाउ टू कीप इन टच, बट आई केप्ट, obviously the stalking tendencies won't like go away overnight, right? So I kept following him on Facebook. So Facebook ऑर्कुट से लोग फेसबुक पे ग्रेजुएट कर रहे थे. फेसबुक उस टाइम इंस्टाग्राम जितना फेमस था.
Yeah.
So I kept stalking him on Facebook, and soon enough, I found I was scrolling one day, and from his profile I saw this update of Karan and the love of his life. ऐसे एकदम
धड़ा
ऐसे
ऐसे नहीं था, हाथ में हाथ लेके ऐसे और ऐसे
करके-
फोटो खींचा था.
ऐसे करके फोटो था अगेंस्ट द सनसेट, करण एंड हिज गर्लफ्रेंड, एंड दे वर लाइक some 101 comments like, oh you guys are the best couple and this is the best and ये वो, and I was like, उस दिन मैंने असली चूड़ियां तोड़ी थी. उस दिन I was really like, दिल टूटा था मेरा. I was like कि
तेरा दिल क्यों टूटा बे, मैं तो तेरे साथ ही हूँ.
उस दिन टूटा था ना यार करण. मतलब अब मैं अपनी भावनाएं भी नहीं प्रकट करूं, मतलब अपना दर्द भी नहीं बताओ लोगों को. दैट इज द होल पॉइंट ना, दर्द बताना ऑफ दिस पॉडकास्ट. तो बहुत दर्द हुआ था गाइस. I was really heartbroken, and I don't know, that was just one of the heartbreaks that was to follow.
Yeah.
So,
Nah, so we continue with the story. Yeah.
but you know, the eternal romantic inside me constantly kept thinking, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, खुश रह ले तू, अपनी वाली के साथ खुश रह ले यार, कोई बात नहीं, मेरी अच्छी दुआएं, मैं तुम्हें दुआएं दूंगी टाइप थिंग. I kept messaging him on Facebook once every year on his birthday. Consistency is the key, guys. Every birthday I would message him happy birthday to just kind of remind him. You know, out of sight out of mind तो हो गए, पर out of mind आप दूसरी तरीके से भी ट्राई कर सकते हो. So I kept messaging him that happy birthday, happy birthday. बहुत बार ऐसा होता था कि happy birthday का reply आता था thank you, and I would wait कि और कुछ बात होगी, कुछ नहीं होता था, zero. That is all it was. But I kept saying happy birthday on his birthday and kept reminding him that I exist. And something happened in 2012 that he agreed to meet me again. Like, I didn't ask, but he just said ki, hi, how are you, how's it going? So we met again, and every time we used to meet in my house, in my flat that I used to live in, it was always that there was one single bed, and Karan used to sit at one side of the bed and I used to sit on the other side of the bed, and we rarely had things to talk about again. But I used to be just very happy, and this time around, second time around, you got beers, right?
Yeah, I think yeah.
So he offered to get some beer. We had beer, and you know, we were talking about random things in life. Like, I was telling him about, I was showing him some of my family photos. I don't know why. Karan was showing
We had
me,
nothing to talk in common. I think that was.
Karan was showing me this video of Tomorrowland. I was looking at
Oh guys,
Tomorrowland.
there is this story of Tomorrowland. Let me tell you this thing. Tomorrowland was actually like the in thing at that point of time. If people are not aware, Tomorrowland is one of the biggest music festivals around the world. So I was really excited, and you know, at that point of time I wanted to actually go. People were like, you know, there are special planes, the air hostess, you have like a DJ inside a plane. That was the kick that I saw in a video, and I was like, dude, I want to go there. And the music festival is supposed to be like 5 days, and the world renowned best DJs are supposed to be there. And I was like, show, do you listen to
You
house?
didn't used to call me show.
No, I didn't used to call her show. I used to.
And he showed me that video, and I was just scandalized looking at that video, because people were like on the beach, they were wearing bikinis, living in tents, using common bathrooms, and
Hey,
living the
nothing
hippie-
like common bathroom.
Hey, I
ऐसा
saw,
कुछ
I
नहीं.
saw.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं. इसके
I was
इंटरनली
like-
कॉमन बाथरूम कभी वीडियो में कोई दिखाता है क्या? No, sorry. No, okay.
Arey, there was a bathroom in the tent, I saw.
Okay, ठीक है. That is your imagination. ठीक है, you go on, please.
And it was like crazy. People were living their hippie life, and Karan was like, hey, would you like to go here sometime? And I was like,
अरे but that's not the joke. She is there.
no,
So,
but the joke is that I was scandalized, and yet I decided to tell Karan that sure, why not? Like, तुम मुझे 2 साल में पहली बार मिले हो, और मैं कुछ, मतलब मैं तुम्हें ऐसा कैसे बता सकती हूँ कि I do not fit into your world. So I will have to obviously say yes, even though I'm scandalized the crap.
So yes, I showed her the video, and before starting the video, I just like, you know, मैंने उसको पूछा कि what kind of music do you listen? So she's like, Bollywood, मैं बोला कि do you listen to some pop music, anything rock, or you can say anything in electronic music? She's like, she had no answers. I'm like, do you listen to house music? And there's this question mark on her face, and she's like, yes, the music which we listen in the house.
I did not say that. I did not say that. Okay, guys.
But that question mark.
I just said yes because again I wanted to not show him that
अच्छा
I do
मैंने
not.
पूछा नहीं तो आंसर यही मिलता.
अभी पता है ना देखो और अभी मेरे को भी पता है ना कि हाउस म्यूजिक क्या होता है. Please, hello. So I told him at that point of time that I was just going along with it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go to Tomorrowland. Yes, I know what is house music. मतलब for me, the music that plays in the house is house music, right? So that is all it was about. But then slowly, the beers were over. We did not have anything to talk about. But
there was just one beer at that point of time, not much. Yeah. A beer.
Like one beer bottle was over, and we did not have much to talk about. And I did not know how to take it forward anymore.
We had
And I
nothing
was
to
not
talk at that
telling him,
point of time.
I was not telling him to leave, and we were actually trying really hard. Like I tried to ask him that. So what shows do you watch? Do you watch Game of Thrones? He's like, no. Then I'm like, do you read books? He's like, no, I don't read. Then I'm like, anything else? Then we came to house music. Then he said, no, I watch Suits. Do you watch Suits? I was like, no. Then he's like, do you read spiritual books? I read spiritual. I was like, no. So we both knew that this is all going down the drain. Nothing is happening. But none of us were ready to end the day. But somehow it happened that हम seriously उस point पे पहुंच गए थे कि कुछ होने नहीं वाला है. So okay bye. He left.
Bye. Yeah.
I left. And after which I was actually talking to Roshni, who was now my roommate also, that ये तो नहीं हो पाएगा यार, मतलब हम तो बात भी नहीं कर पा रहे. This is not going to happen. But he's so cute. He's so dreamy looking. I like him. And Roshni is like, but what will you do with that if you can't talk to the guy? I was like, yeah, correct, you're right. And then another year like just passed by, and 1 year later, yet again, consistency is the key. I messaged him on this thing saying happy birthday, and he said, hey, happy birthday, do you want to meet up sometime? I was like, what? 1 year later, after that day, he wants to meet up again? What the hell is wrong with him? Something is wrong with him. He's saying to meet up. So this time around we met, and I saw a change in Karan. So the Karan that used to be very cocky, very very excited for life type of guy, and he had his own thing going on most of the time. He had his own journey in his mind कि अब मैं ये करूँगा फिर ये करूँगा. This time around he felt like he was very calm and quiet and settled, like something major had shifted in him. At that point of time I was obviously still I think we both had sort of seen enough life by that point of time, because we met in 2010, and now it was 2013 that we were meeting. So in 3 years we both had grown up a bit, and we were at different places in life, but my chingari was still there. I'm sorry guys, I really am like a lecherous gunda with Karan from time to time. And that's how I manifested him, guys.
Yeah.
He's being held here against his will.
Oh my god.
He cannot say this on video. But like I did some voodoo on him, and somehow he's with me now. That's what people believe because I'm Bengali.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Don't
I just keep playing with their mind like I play with yours. Yeah. So that is the time when things changed, and I think from here onwards Karan will be able to tell you what changed. And or if you want to start from the start.
Okay, I'll start from the start, and I will also tell them that the dada part of our relationship where I told her I don't love you. Yeah.
How many times did you tell me that in your mind?
It was only once, and after that it's been never. I think I've truly fallen in love with the relationship and with her. I love you. So yes, my part of story, I think it started again in 2010 when she joined, and you know that how it started. And it was, I am in a studio recording, some audio, bouncing some audios out there, and I got a call from my senior that the interns from the programming team are supposed to be there, and please showcase them that what is the kind of studios, what is a mic, what is a recording mixer, how you have like a room, two separate rooms, one for recording, one for mixing, how do you bounce the track and everything, all the technical stuff. And I was like, okay, take it, call them up. And they came in, and there were like 6-7 of them, and in one of them it's Shokhi, and she's.
Did you notice me that day?
No, so now at the hindsight, when I go there, she's constantly looking at me, there. That's what I now remember it, that she's watching me right now also. So that's what I remember. And cut to, I think, a month and a half. I think we were in Ambi Valley at that point of time. I knew that who Shokhi is, and she is behind me. She likes me. She has done a lot of research about me, that whether I'm in a relationship, what kind of a relationship I am, what kind of a guy.
How did you know that I've done
Varsha actually told me that there is a girl, and she likes you, she's in programming team. मैंने बोला कौन है भाई? तब तक तो मैं I knew most of the people in programming team, and I knew that there is no one who's just going to be coming and approaching me for that. मैं बोला कि कौन है? तो बोलते नहीं अभी join हुए. तो मैं समझ गया था कि that it is Shokhi and new intern, and I got kind of an idea. But again, at that point of time, I was a very different personality coming from Bombay, and I had a very different notion of what kind of a life partner that I want. And at that point of time, whom I was carrying on with was a relationship where we used to smoke together, drink together, enjoy life together, live life on edge, lot of things together. So, and I knew that Shokhi coming from Indore would be a very closed up personality, and she would not be into all of this stuff. I wanted a life partner which was there, and I was like, ठीक है तो है, नहीं है तो नहीं. And I was enjoying my life which was going on, and in Ambi Valley we danced together, and I knew that she's there with me, dance for some time. And I moved on, and after that, just for there, I pinged her once on the time when she told you guys about,
when you came to my place first time.
Came for the first time. It's only when, because I had started kind of going away from my relationship at that point of time. I think it was, it started then, but I was moving apart somewhere down the line, and I started building. So,
and which is why you told me it's on again and
off again. Yeah. So that's one of the things that why I told her that it's on again, off again. And I was moving apart, but yeah, I had a notion in my head that everything will be fine. चलेगा, सब कुछ होता रहता है life में. And I met her, and the best part was that we connected over one thing, that she's from Indore, and I am also from Indore. I'm not. My mom is from Indore, and I have my roots from Indore. So yes, that's when I connected. And very interesting thing that when Shokhi was a child, she used to be living in a rented house, which was my मेरे इंदौर जो मासा जी का घर है उसके बाजू वाला जो घर था, शोकी वहाँ पे रहती थी. So can you imagine the journey, divine intervention of our relationship,
like
and
we
how
still don't know till date कि हम जब
बचपन में
2-3 साल के थे तो शायद मिले थे क्या? Because there is a high, like 80% probability.
So we have a photo. How do we know that? Because we have a photo of मेरे मासा जी की लड़की के गोद में,
cousin की गोद में मेरा फोटो है.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was 4 years old at that point of time.
Yeah.
And Karan says that he used to visit every summer vacation in that house. So we still don't know till now that हम बचपन में मिले हैं क्या?
Yeah.
Fully possible, 80% possibility that हम मिले होंगे और हमें नहीं याद है because we were like 3 or 4.
4 years. So yes, and that's where we connected, and I moved on into my relationship, and we just met once, and then cut to I wanted to be in events. I quit Star TV. I joined events agency, and I was doing a lot of events. I was traveling a lot of time. Most of the time I was traveling. I was not there in town most of the time, doing events across nationally. Most of the time I had no time. खुद के लिए भी टाइम नहीं होता था. So and then as she told you guys that she used to always ping me, and I also used to always have this thing that I will wish her on her birthday, and I wished her on her birthday always, but never had this whole idea that I would want to get in love with her or have a relationship with her, or have this whole thing, because eh, my journey was very, very difficult. When I say it was difficult, I was managing finances, I was managing different types, very, very hard life. So I come from a dysfunctional family sort of thing. Yeah, you can say I come from a dysfunctional family where things are not pursued in the right way, and I was managing, juggling stuff, mom, dad getting divorced, getting the sister married, getting the first job, and after first job you are into a professional career, you want to make your career. So there were a lot of things which were basically happening at the same time, and this relationship which I was into was also not sailing through. And cut to 2013 is when I met her, and I was again in events, and I would just connect one of the stories where you came to Wings and saw, you gave me something. So 2013, 20th December 2013 is when we met for the first time, and that's when we clicked.
Not the first time, we
No,
met
went
for
for
the
the
third
third
time,
time,
but
and,
that's the time we kind of started being together in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, in a relationship, and on again, off again, and
We were not on again, off again.
I was on again, off again
Ah,
with my
with
past,
your
with my past
relation. Okay,
relationship. That's what.
Sorry.
And I am sick at that point of time, and I have called her, and we are in conversation with her that how are you, what are you doing, and all. So it's like a start of a relationship, and I am struggling with fever, and I'm struggling with cough, cold, lot of time, and I was at job, so I had not taken off because it was a responsibility. Job bhi khud handle karna, events bhi manage karna, it's a stressful job. And then I call her up, and she's like, "Hey, why are you working? You should take a day off." मैं बोला भाई कोई नहीं कर सकता. I had to work, and I would just love, and that's the time where I knew that she's the one for me, and she is absolutely what I wanted, because मैं बीमार था, और for the first time in my life she bought me a suit which never in my life any of my relationships had made me do that. And that day it just changed the perception that how I look at this relationship. And I remember telling Komal, one of a friend, that I am in love with this girl. I really like her. She's taking care of me. She's just got soup for me. Never in my life I've received this kind of love or care in any of my relationships. So that was the part. And cut to 15th March 2014, into this whole zone that whether I want to carry on with this relationship with Shokhi or not carry on with this
No, so
relationship.
like let's backtrack and stop at 2013, 20th December when we met. How did you approach me and wanted to meet? Let's not jump ahead in the timeline. First, we both stopped at 20th March 2013.
Okay.
Why did you agree that अब मैं सामने से कॉल करूंगा शोकी को और बोलूंगा कि मिलते हैं?
हाँ.
What was in your mind at that point of time?
Yeah, so there are 2-3 things in mind. One was I had kind of broken up with my past relationship, and I was sure, because we had been in touch base 3 years into this conversation or a friendship that we had. And वो बोलते ना कि माइंड में कुछ और था कि मुझे एक ऐसे ही टाइप ऑफ लाइफ चाहिए और ऐसा काइंड ऑफ पार्टनर चाहिए जो मेरे साथ एंजॉय करे, जो सब कुछ करे. बट व्हेन यू हिट दैट रॉक बॉटम, व्हेन द रियलिटी हिट, आई गॉट द रियलिटी चेक ऑफ माई लाइफ दैट ये सब नहीं होता. एंड आई वेंट फॉर विपश्यना फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, एंड व्हेन आई केम बैक आई सॉ दैट I can have someone who's liking me. Can I start off this relationship with her? And it just clicked, and it happened to be that we are together today. So that was my part.
So basically it was my consistency paying off.
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm sorry guys, I'm really like just taking all the credit for it. Felt like Karan had entered the relationship with me, and I was like going crazy because this is what I wanted for a very long time, and now it has happened, and I don't want to walk away from it. But then suddenly it feels like again I'm the only one excited about it. Like, even though we are together and Karan meets me when he gets time, pings me when he gets time, messages me when he wants it. So it was like kind of a skewed relationship where Karan was only in it when he wanted to
Yeah.
be. And I was constantly trying to wrap my head around it, that this is not how a relationship should be, right? The other person should be equally excited to see me. They should also be wanting to schedule a date,
Yeah.
or they should also be wanting to go watch a movie or something. And I kid you not, for the first 1.5 months minimum, we never went anywhere on a formal date. We were just meeting at home
Yeah.
and talking, and he would come, he would say we'll order some food, eat, and he would leave. So I used to always left with a question mark that is he like having this relationship in the sly, that he doesn't want me to go out with him, nobody wants to, like, he doesn't want me to meet his friends, or what is going on the other hand, my roommate and Roshni and her boyfriend and my best friend Suyash, they were both very skeptical about this whole thing, because they kept thinking that what is going on, why does this guy just come and meet her and then go away, and there's nothing more to it. Like, they're not going out, they're not planning to do something together or have some trips or anything like that. So I wanted to also ask you that what was that phase that you were just like behaving as if it's just there, relationship has happened and it's there,
So,
and that was just like when it is supposed to be the puppy love phase, where you're like in your honeymoon phase, right? That first month of the relationship is like, wow, the most beautiful.
beautiful. So, I believe that what happens is you have a certain, image that you create of a person in your head, correct? That this is how I want a relationship to be. This is what I want from my life. This is how my relationship will move. Since the childhood and when we become a teenager, we believe that what kind of a partner that we want, what kind of a relationship that we would want, and going forward in future, what kind of lifestyle that we are adapting right now, we will want to have it in life. So you choose certain things, and you choose certain relationships in life which are basically something related to an image that you build in life, correct? And I was, because of my past relationship that I was in, correct, I was juggling that whether I want to have this relationship, whether I don't want to have this relationship, whether I want to carry on, because I had a notion in my life that I want a life partner who is matching to my image in my life, that कि मेरे साथ वो दारू भी पिए, सिगरेट भी पिए, घूमने भी चले, adventure junkie bhi ho, everything that what I thought in my head that I wanted from my life partner to be. And which was a kind of mismatch, is where I was on again, off again, and I was not interested in the relationship because my past relationship has also taken for a toss, and at the same time I was struggling with my own life because mom and dad got divorced. I was trying to balance out the finances at my house, giving them that money. So I was into that zone where I wanted to do the best, but in that best I was actually not ready to do something for the best, to make that best, and I kind of made it a blunder.
So one of the things that you just said, I have also realized that I think I also had this image. I think we all have this image of the life partner that we want. We all have this checklist, कि ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए. And I had that very romantic Bollywood image in my mind, because I had grown up on, like most of us, I had grown up on 90s Karan Johar and Yash Chopra films and all of that, and I really wanted that whoever would be my partner would be extremely romantic and would look into my eyes and like be fully intense and all of those bookish things and filmy things I had in my mind. And when I got into, obviously I had other relationships as well, but when I got into a relationship with Karan, I definitely had that filmy image, because that's how the whole thing had played in my mind from the start, right? That, oh, I saw him and I felt something, and there are obstacles and there are problems, and then we are together now. Samne se Karan is saying ki let's meet. So even I thought that, oh, now that we've met, now everything is going to be final, now everything is going to be smooth, and it's going to be romantic, and exactly the image in my mind will now play out. But it was not the person that I thought Karan was. And the play out of the relationship was also not what I thought. And I would say, like, pardon me for saying this, but I would have had better dates and better relationships before than what happened in the first 1.5 months. So
yeah, I'm sorry for that. I feel bad right now.
I'm not saying it to make
Yeah,
you feel
I
bad.
know.
But there was a huge gap in my expectations, my checklist, and who Karan was. And now let me take the story to the next.
So I would like to add one more thing. What we miss is the reality when these things happen, right? We are in our own head building certain things, that we want this, we want this, we want, my partner to be beautiful, my partner to be, intellectual, my partner to travel with me, my partner to have this, my partner to have the X, we want my partner to have Y. Everything is, my partner. But we miss out very, very important thing, that is not the reality that we are living in. That is in our mind. Actual reality is very, very different. So again, that was my problem. That actually was one of my biggest problem at that point of time.
Your life
Reality, yeah.
So if I'm putting it correctly, was that
I wanted a happy life. I had, I was like कि मैं सब कुछ कर लूँगा मेरे लाइफ में, मैं पैसे भी कमा लूँगा, मैं ये भी कर लूँगा, मैं घूमने भी चला जाऊँगा, मैं सब कुछ कर लूँगा अपनी लाइफ में. बट क्या आपकी लाइफ, आई एम नॉट डीमोटिवेटिंग, बट it's just that you also have to be in your reality check at the same time when you are growing up.
So you were having a certain perception of what you wanted your life to be, but in actual life, in actual reality, it was very different.
Yeah.
And that difference of realities in your mind and life was what made you confused about our relationship.
About relationship, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And at the same time, for me, it was a big question mark, because it was something that was building up in my mind for so long, that now that I had you were just not the person that I had thought of.
Yeah.
And I was not wanting to be in love with you, but I had built up to that point, and I was just realizing that, oh my god, this is really not what Bollywood promised me. This is not the hero that I want in my life. So like I think enough of our story till now. We should tell our learnings from this story was that
so how we have this image of a perfect partner or our relationship in our head, and what happens if it does not match with the person that you are in love with.
So my question is that, like, we decided to, through whatever ups and downs, we decided to still give each other a chance. But would you want to give that advice to people to go through so much and stick together, even though you know that you're matching your perceptions
absolutely
are
right absolutely
not
right
matching.
Yeah, so perceptions were not matching, but what clicked between both of us was the values that you want from each other. Correct? Do you respect each other? Do you want to have a better communication with each other? Do you value what you communicate each other? Do you value what that other person in the relationship is saying to each other? Do you value that what that partner of yours is feeling because of you, because you are imagining everything but you're not communicating anything?
Correct? Yeah, that's true.
That's what actually is my learning in this overall thing, that what clicked between us was that values. And
and it's very funny now that you're saying it. So In this phase of the relationship, when you're just starting out, the communication is the least. Like, it's on the last priority, because everything else takes over. And what is funny is, now I can recall that I was communicating every little detail of my relationship to my friends, but I was actually not telling Karan, like not sitting him down and asking him this question, that what is wrong, why are you hot and cold in this relationship, or in this whatever we are doing right now. So why are we hot and cold? There was no direct communication or expectation that, this is what I need from the relationship, and are you willing to be in a relationship like that, and are you willing to be that person for me? But it has not, it did not happen. So there was an issue with the images not getting matched, and B, there was a huge gap in communication, because I was communicating with other people but not to Karan about the problems that we have with each other. And it should have been our very first red flag, is what we called in the relationship. But we somehow stuck together.
The image, what kind of image do you have as a life partner that you would want your life partner to be? And
what happens if that image doesn't match? And do you take that as a red flag and end it, or it's your choice to choose love and stick together and communicate your expectations from the relationship, and see if the other person is willing to meet that expectation or not? And also, I would also like to add that get over that image that you have in your mind and see the person for
he or she is.
And then you decide whether you want to be with them or not. Because, for example, even though till today Karan is not the Bollywood hero or the romantic hero that I wanted him to be, and he is zero on romance or gifts or anything that I have wanted in my life, but as a person, as Karan himself, he has so many great things about him, so many beautiful things about him as a person, that I eventually found out and fell in love with, and I decided to choose him over the perception that I had, or over the bucket list of partner that I wanted, that this is what I want in a partner. So you need to figure out if your partner as a person is appealing to you, or as a person is somebody you would want to be with forever, not as per your bucket list, but as per who that person is. That's what we
all right, guys,
tell you for today.
That's it from our side. Thank you guys for listening,
and stay tuned for the next chapter, where I will tell you how Karan told me I don't love you.
And how
what
long
happened after that.
What happened after that, and how long did it take us to come together again? I'm sure you would be interested in listening to a story.
And was there someone else all along in the picture?
Yes.
All that while.
Come back to us next week to find out, and remember that you are not alone. We are with you happily, whatever after.